gravy.
What's up, guys? It's Drips and Lifts here. Alright, so today's episode got a decent amount of gravy for you. As you guys know, I've actually been looking for a turbo upgrade for the white wagon here, and actually just the other night I was racing my friend's 540i M Sport 6-speed BMW. They were dead even, by the way, this wagon versus that car, E39. Anyways, so after I raced him, my motor was running a little weird, and the car is not really going, it's going into boost, but it's spooling really slow and taking a long time to creep the boost up. So I'm assuming there's a really bad boost leak somewhere, and I checked all the hoses, my intercooler and that kind of thing. That seems all good. So I believe that I may have ripped the diaphragm on the factory recirc blow-off valve. But anyways, I wanted to do a turbo upgrade on this car anyways, so these guys couldn't have came at a better time. So as you guys see here, we got a MAXPEEDINGRODS turbo. These guys actually messaged me, about a week or two ago, and they're asking if I want to do a review on some of their parts and make a video of it. I said, sure, why not? I took a little look at their website, and it's basically, it's kind of cheaper budget stuff for sure, but as far as some parts go, sometimes the cheaper option is better potentially, because I looked up reviews before I agreed to doing this video, and I've actually heard a lot of really good reviews on their turbos and other parts. These guys make really cool connecting rods. They make coilovers, intercoolers, a bunch of different stuff. But the thing is that I actually did read reviews of these turbos lasting a couple years. I did also read some bad reviews of them lasting like one day and that kind of thing. But that's pretty typical with your eBay style turbo. Sometimes you see them last a really long time, sometimes no time at all. Maybe that's partially due to people running wrong oil restrictors and just not knowing how to set them up. Maybe the turbos are just sometimes bad. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be doing a little unboxing and review of this MAXPEEDINGRODS turbo today. And then once I install it on my car, I'll be doing, a kind of ongoing review of the turbo once it's installed on the car and pumping out boost and taking a boost and that kind of thing. Anyways, guys, so these guys actually gave me a code and a link. So for a discount, if you guys want some MAXPEEDINGRODS parts, use this discount, and the link to their site is in the description of this video. So use this discount code, go to the link if you guys want some cheap MAXPEEDINGRODS parts. Their rods are actually really good. I've heard some really good stuff about their rods, and they actually make rods for a Volvo B230 motor. So I could definitely see myself using these guys in the future when I do the motor build with the different crank on Miss-Huff and that kind of thing. So, all right, guys, let's get into it. So I got the T3 T4 style turbo. This seemed like, I asked my tuner Dan at Post Taste Performance, and he was looking at all the turbos they had on there, and he said this one's probably the best bet as far as kind of what I was looking for. Maybe this turbo would probably be maxed out at, let's say, 300 wheel horsepower, something like that. Anyways, so I actually did already open the box and I took the turbo out, so don't mind if it's a little different than how it would have been from when I got it. But I will say, these guys shipped very quickly, so I gave them the okay to send the turbo, and then I actually had it within 3 or 4 days. So I'm in Canada. This is, it's Chinese or whatever. Anyway, so the boxing is nice, the packaging is decent. When you open it up, it's got these MAXPEEDINGRODS customer service card. MAXPEEDINGRODS focus on performance. So they claim to conform to the original equipment and OE standards and crafted to ensure exact fit and function. Blah blah blah. So I don't know, got a bunch of this whatever packing stuff, so let's pull all that out, throw it on the hood of the wagon here. Yeah, so at first glance the turbo is definitely bigger than the factory turbo, that's for sure. As you can see, it came with a bunch of stuff. So we got a V-band clamp as well as a little V-band piece to go with the downpipe flange. It's got a couple gaskets in there, oil drain, oil return gasket. So that's dope. That's good that it actually comes with that, because or else you'd have a, you'd be trying to find a V-band flange, and those are kind of expensive if you get them from a local auto store and that kind of thing. So anyways, let's pull this turbo out. Alright guys, so there's the turbo out of the bag. It's kind of nice to give you those little caps just so nothing gets in there or whatever. So at first glance, it looks like your typical eBay turbo. It doesn't have any, just some random numbers on there or whatever. I was looking up reviews, and some guys said, mind you, these reviews that I was looking up were potentially from a couple years ago and that kind of thing. One thing that the MAXPEEDINGRODS representative mentioned to me was that if I put this turbo on my car and it blows up, they want me to send it back to them so they can give it to their engineers to kind of see what went wrong. And hopefully they're constantly trying to improve their parts and really give us the cheap parts that work kind of thing they're going for. So anyways, guys, so what I do like about this turbo is when I'm clocking it for a red block, it's going to make it really easy because the wastegate is going to bolt on the same way no matter how you clock it. Whereas say if you're doing like a turbo upgrade with a 15G, you'd have to make your own bracket, which isn't very hard, mind you, but this is all like you can take it apart, swap it around, and it'll all bolt back together fine. I'll also be able to rotate the center cartridge, you know, to line up the oil drain and the oil input. Overall, just looks like a, I don't know, T3, T4. I actually had a really similar size on Goldie, if you guys remember Goldie. But yeah, so the bearings seem pretty good. The blades aren't touching the housing, which is dope. That's what some guys had a problem with. Apparently the blades were grinding on the housing. But they did say that after they used it for like a day, it kind of just, the sound went away, and I guess it clearanced itself or whatever. But this one seems good. So yeah, well, I do like how it's just a typical T3 flange. So that's going to be going with my 90 plus manifold over here. So he actually gave me a T3 gasket with the turbo, which is cool. So yeah, I'm going to be porting this manifold out to match this gasket, and that's going to bolt up. So also, guys, they did give me a oil line kit. I did, oh, here it is. I did already open this up and stuff, but these are really cheap, and I figured it'd be nice to just have some extra braided lines and that kind of stuff kicking around while I do the turbo upgrade. So yeah, they just give you a bunch of random stuff, just like, you know, fittings of all kind, stuff to bolt to the turbo, as well as you know, some gaskets and bolts and that kind of thing. So I don't know, I'll probably be using a couple of these pieces when I do install the turbo. So that's kind of going to be the next project here on the White Wagon, guys. I'm going to be pulling the stock turbo off and that kind of thing. But yeah, anyways, so turbo looks decent in my opinion. I will give this a go. I'm going to put this on my car and we're going to see how it goes. I think that I'm not too sure what this stock wastegate actuator is set at. I'm hoping that it's around like 8 PSI, and then I can dial it up with a boost controller. I have heard of some of these eBay turbos, you put them on, and it's already running like 15 plus PSI of boost. I've also heard that the wastegate holes can be a little small. Sometimes you got to port them out a bit. But we're going to slap this turbo on as is, and then if we have any issues, we'll go from there. But overall, guys, I think it looks like a pretty decent turbo. I really like how they have the V-band clamp on it. That's pretty good. So, you know, it comes with that, and it doesn't make you go buy that aftermarket. But anyways, guys, so yeah, that's basically the MAXPEEDINGRODS turbo. The oil line kit, I think this is really cheap. I forgot how much it was, but well, so these guys sent me this stuff for free to review. But like I said, their stuff is really cheap, so take a look at their website. They have coilovers and a bunch of stuff. If you guys are doing like a really budget kind of build, or even like a, you know, a decent build, definitely look into their stuff. Sometimes China-based stuff isn't too bad. So yeah, I'm excited to put this on the car and kind of see how it goes. I think it'll be pretty good for around, you know, 15 to maybe 20 pounds of boost. It's tough to say, so we're just gonna have to see how it goes. And yeah, being a journal bearing, it's probably not gonna spool super fast, but you know, shouldn't be an issue. You know, as long as it hits boost around the 3,500 mark, we should be good there. So yeah, guys, that's basically the wrap up of the video. Got a couple things to come for the channel. Unfortunately, I cracked the welds on the damn intake manifold on Miss Huff again, and I just took a little look, and it was because my brace, actually, the bolt that I had in for the brace for the Itb setup fell out. So we're gonna pull those Itbs off and re-weld them again. Kind of a pain, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. Also, I'm probably looking at picking up another Volvo pretty soon here, guys. So yeah, this weekend we're gonna go look at a Volvo, and essentially the reason I want this car is it's really cheap. For one, it's $94,940, so it's got the Squirter B230 FT. But overall, I just wanted actually a daily driver, just chill car. I'm gonna start doing skip the dishes as like kind of some side income. So I just want like a really simple Volvo I can just cruise around in and do that with. I did skip the dishes with the wagon the one day, and it did get a lot of good comments on it when I was delivering food to people. A lot of people are like, oh, cool Volvo or cool car or whatever. But driving this around all day with the welded diff, manual transmission, fully stripped out, really loud, you know, it becomes a bit of a pain in the ass. The coilovers are nice and stiff, so it's, you know, you're kind of rock solid the whole day. But yeah, so I'm definitely not going to do skip the dishes in this car anymore. So I'm hopefully going to pick up this 940. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with the car, other than drive it for now, and then it'll probably end up being used as like a river beater or something, and then the motor will get used for probably the white wagon, or just, you know, I don't know. The motor will hang around. Volvo stuff is getting a little bit scarce these days, guys, so I don't know. It seems that like when I first got into this 7 years ago, I was picking up 740s and stuff just everywhere for pennies on the dollar. But now they're getting a little harder to find, so I do want to make sure I have a decent amount of hoarded stuff, so I can Volvo for the next like 20-25 years at least. So I do want to be the guy. There's all these old guys that are like, I used to have a 70 Cuda or a Chevelle when I was younger, and I don't anymore. But I want to be the guy that actually kept his old, performance fun car from back in his heyday. I want to be like 55 and still have an old 740 with a done-up motor and, drift mods and stuff. I think that'd be super sick. But yeah, guys, so that's pretty much a wrap of the video. Check out MAXPEEDINGRODS. Your discount code and the link to the store is in the description of this video. So yeah, guys, that's basically it for the video. So like and subscribe for Volvo Half Chub. Peace out.